And it reminds me of like Mary Jane and Peter Parker. Well, like Mary Jane doesn't really feel Peter Parker, but she feels Spider-Man. And like, you know what I mean?
But
Yeah, yeah,
deep.
yeah.
Huh?
That's so
Yeah, it's
true
thought
though.
deep about this.
Yeah, but
It's
no, it is though. But like mine's not
No,
feeling.
I get what you're saying.
Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Panels and Frames podcast. This week we got the monthly manga edition. We're going to talk about Dragon Ball Super and One Punch Man. As usual, I'm joined by these two cool guys, Phil and Lewis, as we get into the latest chapters of these monthly mangas. But quick thing, what do you guys think about monthly mangas? To be honest, like, do you prefer getting it like 40 pages in one go, or do you prefer getting like weekly? Like, how do you feel?
It depends what manga it is, though.
Because it's like binge watching. You know, like how like with episode it's when episode every week you're like, all right, cool. Then you can
Yeah.
think about episode. But when you binge it, it's like sometimes you forget what happened. I feel like sometimes. I mean,
I do that
obviously,
all the time. I
what?
do that all the time. I'll be reading them, then I'll be like, yo, what happened again? You have to go back, read like 5 to 10 chapters. I mean 5 to 10 pages. Then I read the new one.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and it's a long wait as well. Like 40 pages. Sometimes you
mhm.
don't even get like even One Punch Man. Sometimes you get like 8 pages. Then you have to wait a month, and that's like you're like,
Yeah,
rah,
it's
man.
annoying.
You know what I
I
mean?
think I think obviously with
So,
One Punch, you just don't know when you're gonna get it. So
And then
that's
you get like what the 1.5 chapter, or he redraws it again. And you're like, oh, cool, innit? But you know what I mean? He draws it
it's the
again. You're
truth.
like,
It's the truth. It's not like, not like.
but yeah, let's go on to Dragon Ball Super. So obviously, Dragon Ball Super returned after a big hiatus in the summer after Goku and Vegeta took on Granola, and then obviously man like Black Frieza dropped in, smashed
Minute.
smashed Granola and smashed the Heatons.
And then
Um,
he just dipped out, mate. Just
I
dipped
know,
out
he
like
dipped
it was
out.
nothing.
You know, it's funny. I was reading an interview about why it was Black Frieza. Of course, there was a lot of jokes online in that year, but they were saying
Mm.
because the creator was saying was because you know a credit card, the highest you can get is the black card.
Yeah.
So this he was saying that's why Black Frieza is Black Frieza
you're
because
joking.
I'm not joking. He was saying like because it's that. So this makes me think if this has to be Frieza's final form then has to be his final
Yeah.
form. So this is
Yeah.
like they don't find it mad though. That's going to be potentially the ultimate battle. But then Whistler said at the end of the arc, he did say, "Oh, the strongest in the universe might have been born, but I don't think it's Frieza."
We
He
don't
said it
know. We don't know. Yeah. Don't know.
Mm.
could be Gohan if this film and anyway.
Let's
No, but
not. I don't even
the
want to talk
way that
about
this
that.
so obviously the new arc is obviously ties into the superhero movie. So it's
Yeah,
like
kind of.
for that. Well, I mean,
It's like
it,
before,
it,
isn't
it,
it?
it
It
basically is a
basically is. Yeah, it basically is. It
Yeah.
basically is.
so and it focuses on Trunks and Goten at Blue High School. Obviously a bit of slice of life. They're doing the whole Saiyan Man thing that Gohan did.
Saiyan man.
Same at X and X1, but they're like basing on some like recycling hero. So
Yeah.
obviously we've gotten to that, and yeah, we're currently more following Trunks at the moment. They've not actually revealed how old these two are, have they?
No.
They've not actually said how old they are, but that's
No.
common.
I haven't.
We can just
Well, high school age is
yeah,
still
but high
young.
school got like many years, bro. These lot were like 7 years old for like 20 years, bro. They were doing the Ash Ketchum thing,
Well,
remember?
they've aged a bit in it, so we can be happy that they've aged
They've
a
had
bit.
the
They're not
mad
young
growth
just no more.
spurts out of nowhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? It's always
Um,
time. What is it? Them time skips.
But then, obviously the chapter takes place after the events of the Grenon arc, and now we're coming we've met Dr. Hedo in chapter 88.
Hmm.
Trunks and Goten showed us some superhero stuff where they save their friends at Mount Butterfly after those zombies attacked. Um,
Hmm.
I know we're not reviewing chapter 88, but there were some funny stuff I just wanted to say, like his
Go on.
classmate, his classmate's called ruler, compass, scale. Why did the Toriyama do this with the naming?
No,
It's on theme though.
But it makes me
it
laugh
is on
though,
theme.
and he just busts
Yeah.
them out. And also Doctor Brief, when Trunks is saying Man X1 and he flies away, and Doctor Brief just says, "Youngsters these days, so many of them can fly now." And that's so funny, so random thing to say.
Yeah,
And it's like you
it's
think
random, but hey,
we used it by
I like
now.
I like these elements of Dragon Ball though. Like it brings in like that childish element of comedy where you don't
Hmm,
really have to like
Mm.
pay too much attention to it. It's not that serious, so
hmm.
it's cool. It's cool. I like it.
But it's fun in it, and it's just innocent humor. You know what I mean? And it's just like but then it gives
Yeah.
each character like I guess it shows like his kind of arc that he's what he's seen throughout the year. He must be like, Jesus, man, what is going on in this planet, man? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Mm.
true.
So chapter 89 obviously starts with after Trunks tried to ask out Mai on a date.
Mhm.
When he tried to, save those helper robots so that they can basically fix them and then Mai can have the evening off. So anyway, it starts with Trunks obviously being turned down by Mai again, and he's now looking at the disc he stole from Dr. Hedo, which obviously has the Cell images on it. And what's funny
Mhm.
is that he doesn't know who Cell is. Can you imagine? No
That's
one's
Yeah,
told
that's
him.
yeah,
wild.
yeah. That's weird. It's
No one's
wild.
mentioned, and it just makes me wonder, that like, what else don't Galton and Trunks know, man?
Actually, that's a good question.
Because they just face
That's a
Boo.
good question.
Because you'd think
Mm.
Gohan would at least talk about Cell because that was his like one thing that he did in it.
Yeah, that was his
Mm.
big moment.
Or
But
maybe they know of Cell, but they just don't know what it looks like because they weren't there in it. It could be one of those things, isn't it?
yeah, maybe just like, oh yeah, dad or brother fought this person, this
Yeah.
cell guy. I heard this cell guy's really strong. Da, 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 da. I hear you.
And then moving on from that, obviously we get this new rival in school. What's his name? Beta. And obviously
Beta.
they've spelled it like in a cool way with a
Beer.
Y. Yeah, exactly. And my love comes being trying to, trying to be a hater
He's trying to steal his girl, man. He's trying to steal
Yeah,
Trunks' girl.
definitely.
and causing a madness. But you know what, Maya's perspective when she's like, Trunks, just chill out, man. He's like an android, isn't it? He's not human. Trunks like, oh,
Mm.
really? And so obviously, there's a scuffle between like Galton ends up picking up a car because that's what even though no one uses their powers, Galton, why not? So he's doing a Gohan.
Yeah.
Remember Gohan jumped in the baseball match when he jumped and caught the ball. He's like, oh yeah, it's calm in it. And they're
Yeah.
like, nah, it's not calm. You jump like 2 meters in the sky. So Galton's doing that. Then it leads to a fight between obviously Beta and Galton, and Trunks gets involved. Then they both transform. Yada yada yada. They beat Beta. Beta gets some data to go back to Dr. Hedo, and then Dr. Hedo's now obsessed with the same X1,
Some
X2.
heroes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Mike, obviously, yeah. And then he said, "Oh, I'm going to create more androids at the end."
But that ties into the film though, doesn't it?
Well, now it's so interesting. What androids is he going to create? Because remember, we've still got. I don't know how long this arc is going to be, but
Hmm.
I'm guessing it's going to be at least like, let's say, at least 5 months because it's obviously monthly. At least 5 more chapters, at least, or 10 more.
Mm.
So it'll be good to see what androids come. And I do like. Don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying the whole slice of life stuff, and it's like really fun. And like, but I do want to Trunks and go on to push themselves. I want to see some
Yeah.
madness, some
See,
proper fights.
I'm happy that you said that, right? Because from the last chapter and this chapter as well, for a certain amount, well, to a certain degree, it feels to me like it's still filler. Like there's no
Mm,
real need to be here,
Mm.
right? Okay,
mm.
yeah, it ended the last arc ended with we saying what he said and the granola thing and Black Freeze and all that kind of stuff. Cool, but then now we're just lumped with these two characters being superheroes for some cleaning thing. It doesn't really make sense, you know. It does
Upside
not
to the
make
kick.
sense.
I do feel like it is, in the movie, you've got
Mm.
he creates one and two, the superheroes one and two.
Gamma, yeah.
That's clearly he's taken that from Trunks and Goten when they're Saiyan Man. So they're both two
Mm,
superheroes and they're quite similar.
mm,
So he's
Yeah.
obviously
mm.
seen how powerful they are and he's tried to recreate that. And we're gonna go through there to get to the movie part.
Oh,
Okay.
'That's
100%,
what I thought.
100%. But I do wonder
Yeah, that
though,
makes sense.
like, if we're gonna have prototypes of Gamma, because if they're called like Gamma 1 and 2, do you think we're gonna have because he's
Well,
beta. Are we gonna have we've had the obviously I don't know, we've not had Alpha, but we've had actually no, was Alpha the NFL player one? No, it wasn't him. There wasn't
I don't
Alpha in
think
it.
so.
So we've got Beta. Are we gonna get the next letters in the alphabet and then Gamma 1 and 2 be the film, and then Galton and Trunk's gonna murk all the other ones until we get to Gamma, the Gammas. That's
Maybe
I,
that
I,
that that sounds that's a good way of thinking,
because we got
but
Beta,
I,
so it makes sense,
I,
isn't
I,
it?
I don't know how long it's going to take to get there though. Like
Yeah.
in terms of writing,
Yeah,
right? Because they're gonna have to introduce another one and then they're gonna get beat. Then they introduce another one and then they're gonna get beat.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm
It'll
saying?
get boring.
So
I
it's
know.
gonna get boring.
But then also, you know, one thing I find interesting. It's like the way Goten and Trunks are in so far in this arc here, and the way they were in the film, kind of polarizing because in the film they just bare like they're acting like they haven't trained or done nothing for ages. Then here, yeah,
True.
they're going Super Saiyan. Well, Trunks is going Super Saiyan, doing his thing. Obviously, they weren't fusion in the film, and that they couldn't do that. But don't know, man. I'm interested to really interested to see how it goes.
But to be fair,
I'm
what they're
I'm
doing now, they're
indifferent.
just playing superhero. They're just playing superhero. They're not really fighting anyone tough.
I mean,
Yeah.
Trunks got Super Saiyan to beat one guy in
I know, but they're
'88.
not really
Did he
like,
really need to go Super Saiyan though? Maybe it was just like, oh yeah, we're playing the superhero thing, so let me just show that I'm more powerful than this guy. Boom.
yeah.
So
But I mean, with this chapter though, like, yeah, I think it did have the right. I mean, obviously, yes, we are still waiting for Black Freezer. That's all we're waiting for. That's all I'm waiting.
exactly.
That's
That's
all
what
I'm
I'm
waiting
saying. This
for.
is a filler.
But
This is filler, man.
Big time
This
filler.
is
Big
gonna be
time
filler
filler.
for next 8 months. I'm saying
it
it's gonna
still
be
is
filler
quite.
for the next 8 months.
I think. Do you not think it still is quite entertaining? It still is like there's a humor. It's like it's fun.
It's alright.
It's more of like a
It's
Dragon
alright.
Ball kind of humor. Like like when Goku kid go like Dragon Ball. It's more like that kind of humor. If you
Yeah,
know what I
of
mean.
course, of course, that kind of humor, and it's fun to watch because I mean, it's fun to read because it's so like childlike, right? Like even when Trunks was fighting the robot, right, and then the robot like split in half and then shot
Yeah.
rockets out of his ass,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's funny, bro.
I
But
know.
how long are we gonna put up with this really
Yeah,
until it
that's
gets to
it.
till it gets to the bits that are important?
I don't know, man. And this is it. We don't know how long this arc is going to go on for, but I guess it's been like the Granada arc was quite surprising how good it was. I mean, you know what I mean,
Mm.
like Ultra Ego and stuff like that. So I guess it's time to calm down a bit. I don't know, like
Yeah, I
the
guess you
film.
needed a break, you know.
True.
Well, maybe.
But then again, this arc could take like the route of giving the two youngsters more screen time and more development, and then they maybe even get more powers. So we don't know.
True.
I hope so, and I'm hoping that it's not going to be just some big comedic. I hope like Go to the Trucks just finally just do a
Yeah.
madness, just do a madness, bro. You
You
don't have to go
hope.
Super Saiyan 3,
You
Super
hope.
Saiyan 2, something like they fight somebody who's strong, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
what also was quite funny is Mai and her infatuation with Saiyan X1. And it reminds me of like Mary Jane and Peter Parker. Well, like Mary Jane doesn't really feel Peter Parker, but she feels Spider-Man. And like, you know what I mean?
But
Yeah, yeah,
deep.
yeah.
Huh?
That's so
Yeah, you
true
spot
though.
deep about this.
Yeah, but
It just
no, it is though. But like Maya's not
No,
feeling
I get what you're saying.
X1.
I
You know
hear
what I
you.
mean? Because she thinks X1 is future Trunks. When she's like, "Oh, Trunks, is that you?" Oh, because he's got the scarf on in it. So I don't know. There's superhero. Maybe we're gonna see a few more of those like superhero elements from other comics pulled into that. I don't know, but I do think this is that Mary Jane thing.
I do like the parallel though, because obviously you got future Trunks and May, they were together,
Yeah,
you know, and now they're like it's almost a different timeline and
but,
they're
but she didn't meet
falling
him
through.
though.
I know, but
Yeah,
it's still a different timeline. But they're still getting together. I feel like they're gonna
yeah.
get together in
Well,
the end.
I mean, thing is, how old is Mai though? Bloody hell.
Exactly.
Mai's close to
Exactly.
100, bro. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
when
you don't
Trunks
want to
finds
cross
out and
certain
he's like,
boundaries.
It's something
nah.
out, man. Jesus.
But in terms of this week's chapter, you guys want to give it your final thoughts and your scores?
It was good. It was good, even though I think it's filler. I think it's a good one because it has that like old Dragon Ball, like
Mm,
actual Dragon Ball when Goku was younger, like
mm.
kind of comedy to it. So and I like that. So yeah, I would say it's a good chapter. It was long enough. There was enough in it. It didn't feel like it was an empty chapter. If
Mm,
I was to score it, I would say I'll say 7.5. I'll give it
mm.
7.5.
Lewis?
Yeah, it's just a bit of fun. I feel like it's a break from the granola arc. And I can see where it's gonna lead into the film, where it was a tie-in from that. But I don't know, it does feel very kiddie, which I don't mind, but is it going to get more serious like we were saying? Are they going to get more like intense? So for that, I'll probably give it about 6.5 because I just don't know. I don't want this arc to go on for too long, but I appreciate what they're doing. So that's it for me.
What are you gonna give it?
I'm feeling to give it 7 because it was entertaining, but if entertaining in its own way, like you said, Phil, it's got an old Dragon Ball humor, like Kid Goku. It's a bit of fun, but my concern is if it's gonna be humor for the whole time, then I'd rather we just end it in like 3 chapters or whatever and call it a day.
I hear
And
that.
then
Chapters.
no, but bro,
I hear
you know
that.
what I
I
mean?
hear that.
'Cause it's a month. It's a
I hear
month to
that.
wait for all these
It's
chapters.
3
true,
chapters.
yeah,
That's
right,
like 150 pages. 50,
Exactly.
50, 50.
Well,
So,
like I want because obviously we've just seen like Trunks mainly. I want Goten to have a bit of. I want Goten to have a bit of shine. I want to see them go Super Saiyan. 'Cause we've not seen actually Goten Super Saiyan with his hair yet. We've not seen what he looks like. So that'll be interesting to see what it looks like with the hair Super Saiyan. And I think look, obviously if the fandom have been crying for Goten and Trunks for years to have some sort of arc now. They finally got it. The writers have a chance to really do something quite interesting with these two, give them some new abilities. I don't know, new Super Saiyan form we've not seen before. It won't happen, but who knows? So yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes. But for now, yeah, it's a nice comedic filler that's and it's interesting to see how far it goes. And now for our next manga, we're moving on to One Punch Man 175. Obviously, One Punch Man has just come off the 7-year epic saga with Garo and the Monster Association arc, which obviously was
that was terrific. Terrific.
Fantastic.
Oh, my days.
7 years well spent.
Yeah.
And I feel like obviously because a lot happened in those arcs, in that arc, sorry, we have to do a lot of aftermath stuff happen now. And so this new arc is obviously called the Neo Hero Saga, which is like it's going to bring in some new heroes if you've read the webcomic. So obviously we've started off from chapter 174, which saw Turbo Tornado and Hellish Blizzard trying to rescue their friend Cyclops, who obviously is Garo from the Monster Association. She's been kidnapped by Tsukiyomi, who's this new like Esper kind of, well, they make Espers and they're like a new association. So they've obviously tried to buy her. And obviously Turbo Tornado was experimented on by them when she was younger. So she's like, nah, they're not coming to like do this to another one of my I don't like Psychos, but they're not gonna, do what they want. So she's obviously broken in. Her and Hellfire Blizzard are gonna go, or Hellish Blizzard, sorry, they're going in there with Saitama and they're basically just causing the madness. So this chapter is quite interesting because this new guy who they've actually not said his name, or his name's Spider.
No, they haven't.
They haven't said his name.
I haven't said his name. No.
He actually, does a bit of madness to Tornado when he does his telekinesis and like contort the body. So
yeah,
that was
he was twisting up and turning up, doing all kind of madness with her, mate.
And what I find interesting is like there's a lot of in this world of One Punch Man. There's so many. You got S rank heroes, so like meant to be the top of the top. There's loads of random people who are like still sick as well. Like obviously when Bang's brother came, you're like, oh, who's this guy? And he's like, you know what I mean? So there's lots of
just a random don, yeah.
Or those swordsmen as well. So I guess this is a good extension and showing us more people in the world. What do you guys think of the chapter?
No, I thought it was good. It was it's a good start to something that's going to happen. Like you've introduced more psychics, like more people with powers, rather. So it's like you got the supernaturals because a lot of the heroes are just strong humans. So it was good to see that. So it's like it's elevated it even more. So we've seen all the monsters against strong humans with a few psychics, and now you've got psychics fighting psychics. What I liked about it though is the ending for me was my favorite part when you just see Saitama just grab her arm. You're like, jeez, are we gonna like? Has he announced himself now? Like, are people gonna actually start recognizing him? Or is it just gonna be a joke?
I doubt it though, because remember they've butt heads quite a few times. She's not like murked him in a fight, but she's been like, shut up, Baldy, you know what I mean? Don't get involved. But are we gonna ignore the fact that Saitama just duppied? I mean, we know it's Saitama, but he duppied all these demon level monsters just like that.
I know.
Come on, man, it's Saitama. You can't really. Why does it shock you though, bro?
It doesn't shock you.
Shock you.
It doesn't shock me, but what makes me laugh, yeah, is that it's I don't know, it's his face. His face just cracks me up how simple it is, and he's just like, you know what I mean? And he's just
But
like
that's the point.
unimpressed.
That's the point, and I love it. It's the
Yeah,
point, and I love it, man. It's his whole thing. Like, I just do this because I'm bored. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just doing it because
yeah.
It's
No,
the fact that no one clocks. Like they clock a little bit, but they must see his face like you're seeing it and think, nah, this just doesn't make sense. It's because of me or it's because of this guy. But I
I
don't
hear
know
that.
that picture. Well, that picture when he's grabbing her arm, like the way he's drawn, it's like
yeah.
he's got that glow
Yeah,
from when he just
definitely.
like leveled up.
Yeah, yeah. But I'd like I'm more intrigued to know now what's going to happen in the next chapter because of like that one panel at the end. Because of that
Mm.
one image.
What did you think of the overall chapter, Phil?
I thought it was alright. I thought it was good. I liked the fact that it started a little bit different,
Mm.
and like it was kind of like someone on a date, and them doing, and they were talking about how there's an earthquake going on and all that kind of stuff, and then everyone got shook,
Yeah.
and then everyone got shook
Oh, but we're
because
safe in here
what
because
rain
we're in
is
some
now.
rich building.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. And then how it developed with all of the others, obviously the stuff that happened in the manga. So yeah, it was good actually. I liked it. I liked it.
Mm.
You know who's the unsung hero in like all of this? You know the chairman of the monsters of the Hero Association, the one who's
Mm,
always got the is when
yeah.
it's when he gets shook, his face just cracks me up. You know what I'm talking about, it? The blonde guy with the suit, and
I
he's got
know,
the
I know who you're talking about, but why though?
because just he's always like he's got all these heroes, yeah. He's got all these heroes under his command, yeah, but he gets shook the most.
Mm.
He's like, oh my god. And it's just his face. Every time something happens, yeah, he's like, look, he's gonna shit his pants in it, and it just makes me laugh. Excuse me. But I just find
Yeah,
his panels are hilarious just when he appears in it. Um
okay, that's you. I don't really,
oh,
I
that's not
see it,
you.
but it doesn't really register to me like that. It's like okay,
Mm.
Well, no, but don't like I'll show you some of his panels, yeah, and you find you crack up in it.
I
But
have to show me next time.
But like Lewis said, the ending panel was amazing because Saitama is he gonna do a madness or is he gonna be some comedic?
You know what I think though, right? Because if we talk about real quick the previous arc, right, where
Mm,
Saitama and Goro were fighting and doing all that kind of stuff, right? Like slowly the S rank hero started to realize like,
Mm.
okay, Saitama is kind of up there. We should pay attention to him a little bit, right? And when Bang actually realized like how strong he was way back
or the
in the
meteor,
series
yeah.
as well. Yeah, with the meteor. What I feel like is gonna happen in the future, is basically slowly more of these S rank heroes are gonna start to know, okay, Saitama was really one of them guys,
Yeah.
right? And I think
Mm.
is Tatsumaki's turn right now to realize that Saitama is one of them guys.
I think it's too early, man. I don't think they're gonna reveal it like that.
No,
I think they're
I
gonna get that
think
reveal.
I think it is. I think it
They're
is.
gonna reveal next chapter and she's gonna realize this guy is that
Well,
guy.
maybe in the next couple chapters, but I think they're building it up to say, okay,
Mm.
Yeah.
it's time for her to learn who she's fucking with. My bad. Time for her to learn who she's messing with. But
I think there's gonna be
that's
some
my thought.
because you know Hellish Blizzard obviously fancies Saitama. I think there's gonna be some sort of screaming match between the sisters, and then
Hmm.
it's gonna all just end quite comedically. I don't think she's gonna find out. I really don't think. But what I will say
Really,
was, no, I don't know, man. I just think it's too early
not
for her.
even not even in like 3 chapters.
I don't think. I think there's gonna be quite a while before. I think that's One Punch's thing though as well, isn't it? That
Mm.
he's no one really knows
He's
he's
not
the
in it that much all the time. It's like you don't
you know what I
see
mean?
much of him until that last bit.
Mm.
It's like you know like when Flashy Flash when he got murked and he got
Hmm.
murked like what 3 times in the arc and he's like the fourth person to like who's faster than me in this because he had that sick fight remember against those two former ninjas then obviously
Yeah.
Yeah,
Saitama
yeah.
faster than him then he got banged by Garo and that is it called Black Sperm is that the character's name in it that is
Something
his
like
name
that.
is it
Yeah,
but no
something like that. I know who you're
that's,
talking about though. I
that's
know
his
Yeah,
who you're
name isn't
talking
it
about.
oh
I
well
that's
think
forget
it
him,
is.
man.
I think it is.
That's
I
what we're
think
gonna
it
call
is.
him now. Then
but that's his name though isn't it
that's
I
his new
take it.
name.
Go
Yeah.
on, carry on.
well I think that's his name I'm sure that's his name But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. It becomes the golden guy in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, it's just when they had that fight.
And now he's with Saitama now, isn't it? It's like
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
piggybacking, isn't it?
So, you know, I just find it interesting. And it will be interesting because that was his reveal to seeing how powerful Saitama is. I think it's going to be interesting, like you said, Phil, to see everyone's kind of reveal.
But
Yeah.
that's a villain though. I'm talking about the hero.
Oh, no, Flashy Flash is. I'm not talking about Flashy Flash's reveal to find out
Oh,
how.
okay.
Yeah, not this. I'm not going to say whatever his name was, but
Alright, cool.
but in terms of the chapter, like in terms of like where you think it's going, like with this arc, I think it's quite interesting that we got a new association, and like you said, Lewis, it's Espers now. It's not just heroes. It's another because we've had like monsters. Because like at the start we had like the Earth monsters, we had the Sky monsters, and we had all the different types, and we had like who were those bold guys in the metal suits? We had like scientists, we had like loads of different types. So now I feel psychics. It's the time to their time to shine. Especially, and what's cool, especially as Mob Psycho has just ended. This could be a shout out to like, oh, Mob Psycho. You know what I mean? A little bit because. So, but what are your thoughts on how far you think it's like where you think it's gonna go, and like, are you happy with the current like villains and stuff?
I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Is One Punch Man, and the One Punch Man. I feel like whenever One Punch Man comes out, it kind of always delivers for me. No matter how short or how long the chapters are, I feel like it always delivers in whatever it is. I'm like, okay, and it makes me think, okay, you know what? Even if I forgot, I want to go back and read a couple more chapters and then read the new one so I know what's going on. So it's fine with me.
Yeah, One Punch Man is one of those only mangas that even when it does, because I thought this is a bit filler. Even when it does filler's still like top tier, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's still good.
It's just everything's just sick, and like you said, like you read this chapter, One Punch Man does make you want to go back to read other chapters again. But like, oh yeah, that was sick. You know what I mean? But do you guys give your final thoughts, Lewis? What's your final thoughts and scores of this week's chapter, this month's chapter?
I thought this chapter was good, and I feel like it's opened up a doorway to possibilities on what's going to happen next, especially with the new guys. Especially you've got people that were chilling in the Blizzard group as well, and then you can see them just floating up like they've been here for a while by the looks of it.
And when Tornado's like, oh, I'm gonna make what was she gonna do when she's like, you lose your powers but you won't die? What attack is she gonna do? That can be quite interesting because can she nullify psychic powers?
I don't know.
We have to find
She's
out.
ready to unleash it though. She's ready to unleash it.
Interesting to see because we've not seen a full level of her abilities, have we? Because she's second to Blast member for a reason. So it'll be interesting to see what other abilities she has, and hopefully.
And it's actually mad that we say that, right? Because in the last arc she was doing a madness.
Or is she twist?
Yeah, she was doing a whole madness, like ripping up the whole earth and turning things upside down. And anyway, that's mad. But continue.
But yeah, I think overall I give it 8.5. I really enjoyed it, and it's leading into something that I feel like I'm going to be excited for. And yeah, like Phil said, it always delivers.
Phil?
I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 because I feel like I'm going by the last arcs. Sorry, I have to do it. Right. The last arc was too great, and like the chapters in the last arc, I feel like they were all just above it. And this one is just average, and I feel like One Punch Man on an average is just an 8. So yeah.
I'm gonna actually give it a 9, actually.
Really?
Simply because One Punch Man always delivers, and I feel like the writing is always fantastic. Like you were saying, the way it started with a random couple just having dinner, and then that because you know it's like watching a film, innit? So we had the scene where they were fighting obviously this Tsukuyomi Association, and then like let's say in the film they're fighting, go to a random cutscene, and then you see the after effects of their fight, and then it comes back to the thing. Just felt like that. So I feel like storytelling is fantastic. Still, I was very impressed with the fight scene with this new Esper versus Turbo Tornado. It was good to see his ability and how strong he is. And like Lewis said earlier, this opens up to like a new doorway to like endless possibilities of like new characters that we can see. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm still waiting You know when Blast went to space and said, "Oh yeah, I'm at the front line." That nonsense. That you can't just do that. They just black freeze
And then
us.
not, yeah,
You
yeah. Oh
can't
man.
just do that. And then now we're like, nah, that actually wound me up. But at least you know there's a lot of stuff coming. So even though this is a bit of filler, I think this is like still a phenomenal filler compared to like other mangas where they can drop the ball. But yeah. Thanks, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment. And join us next month for the monthly manga edition of Panels and Frames podcast.